The Michigan Wolverines have defeated Western Michigan 47-14 in the home opener, season opener for Jim Harbaugh's football squad after a disastrous 2-4 year last year. Team looked really impressive. Offense was humming, got backups in. Defense started a little shaky, but really did well second quarter, third quarter, into the fourth. But the news of the day, which we'll talk about a ton, Ronnie Bell injured. He had a heck of a start. He was injured early on in the game, kind of a possession after he had a really great 76-yard touchdown catch. He also, a possession or two prior to that, had maybe the best catch I've ever seen by a Michigan football player outside of Charles Woodson, an interception. But as a true catch, it's like one-handed over his shoulder, just went like that. But they called him on pass interference, which if you were on the internet, you know it was as ludicrous as any call I've seen lately. But he left the game injured. He did not return. It looked bad, and he was wheeled out of the stadium in on a wheelchair towards the end of the game. So we'll talk more about that coming up in the show. Before we kind of dive into everything we learned, our instant reaction, just make sure you subscribe. I think we were the first video here on YouTube outside of any highlights of the game. So you know that this show, the Michigan Football Report, is bringing you instant reaction, analysis, news, rumors, everything on this program. Go ahead and subscribe. We're going to get into it all coming up right now. 47-14 is your final. The Ellaby from Western Michigan, 20-37, 191, a touchdown. Crooms 4 catches and a touchdown on Michigan side. Cade McNamara, 9 of 11, didn't throw a pass in the second half. Although he started the game, came in the third quarter, then they turned it over to J.J. McCarthy. Ronnie Bell, 1 catch, 76 yards, and then Blake Corum. He might be the star of the day. Led the team in rushing, also had a receiving touchdown. He just played spectacular. I'll kind of talk about his stats really quick here. 2 catches, 22 yards, and one of those going for a touchdown early on. A little swing pass from Michigan, first touchdown of the game, and he looked terrific on that play. He looked terrific running the ball all day, and he looked great on kickoff returns too. A really nice one where he broke it down like 79 yards down inside of the Western Michigan 30. So you tell me here, give me your one-word reaction to the Michigan's 47-14 win over Western. I'm going to go with impressive, and maybe if I add a little more to that, let's just kind of keep the momentum going. I don't think I have too many complaints on this game. Defensive line looked a little shaky early on. Impressive is my one-word reaction, and it's nice to see a really nice rotation of backup players in the second half, something Jim Harbaugh struggled with from a coaching perspective, and Don Brown almost never seemed to do. So, top story coming out of this one. It's unfortunate. Ronnie Bell, Michigan's leading receiver the last 2 seasons, was carted off in the second quarter, leg injury. I mean, it looked bad from the beginning, and he grabbed it, and they even brought his family, his parents down onto the field to console him. Then he was carted off the field, and then was later seen, I think what we say, in the fourth quarter or so, being wheelchaired out of the tunnel into transportation, probably going to a hospital. So could it be foot? Could be ankle? It looked like it was more mid-leg, so that screams knee to me, ACL, MCL. Hopefully it's not serious, right? Hopefully he just took a helmet in the knee and it just hurts like hell, and maybe it's sprained for 2 weeks. I'm guessing he's going to miss next week. If he doesn't, that's going to be great. I'm sure we'll find out more about this. You can probably follow me on Twitter at James Yoder, and I'll tweet out anything we know substantial. I don't want to speculate here about an injury, but 1 catch, 76 yards for him on the day, the fourth-year player out of the state of Missouri. Two-star, if you remember, 2-star player, but he has really been a surprise and one of the better recruiting wins for Jim Harbaugh and this staff over the last few years. 2-star player, kind of signing day thing, and he has been the heart of this program in a lot of ways for the last few years. So take a look more at the scoreboard, throw it up there, producer. 47-14 is your final. We are going to talk about my instant reactions. I've got a bunch of different things I want to talk about, from the offense to the defense to what we saw from Gaddis, Mike McDonald, etc. But I hope you guys took advantage of our offer from BetUS. It's still going on. Chatsports.com/GoBlue, promo code GoBlue. Michigan was only a 16.5-point favorite in this game, and clearly they covered that one, winning by 33. The math was it 47-14? Yeah, 33 points. And so if you would have bet the Wolverines, you would be in the money, not from just the deposit bonus, but also from your big win. This also, I think it went under 47-14, so the over-under was like 66, so that one went under. Michigan gets the win, get the under. All kinds of games, though, to bet on. Clemson, Georgia tonight. You've got all kinds of games to bet on. Get our promo code bonus. Chatsports.com/GoBlue redirects you to BetUS. Make your first deposit and type in that code GoBlue, 125% deposit bonus. Let's talk about what we learned from this game. Michigan crushes Western, and I was nervous about this one, right? I mean, what do you know coming off last season? I think this is the most unknown I've ever could have had about information on what to expect of a Michigan season. Maybe going back to 2008 with Rich Rod, because you had Stephen Threed and Nick Sheridan and who knew what at running back, wide receiver. And it's kind of the same way. Although we knew a lot of player names, there wasn't a ton of production that was proven on either side of the ball outside maybe Daxton Hill, Aidan Hutchinson, and a few other. Ronnie Bell, one of those known commodities, is injured. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he is good. But this is a great performance coming off of 2020's disastrous 2-4 year, where they looked impressive in the opener. So let's hold our horses. No overreactions yet. But this felt a little bit different to me. I know it was against Western Michigan, but it seemed like Josh Gattis had a plan today on offense. And he got guys speed and space. Okay, cool. I'll give you some credit there, Josh Gattis. You got it with A.J. Henning. You got Roman Wilson. You got Blake Corum, speed and space. You went up the middle with Hassan Haskins. And then the quarterbacks, both J.J. McCarthy, who we'll talk about here in a second, and Cade McNamara, look relatively confident. I think McCarthy had a few jitters there when he got in the game. But Cade McNamara is my top story. Impressive in the opener. 9 of 11 in the first half for 136. And that was all he threw on the day. So 81.8% completion. I told you the other day, Michigan needs a quarterback to throw 65 to 70%. That is the modern standard of college football for quarterback play. And Cade McNamara is there with only 11 attempts, which is okay. To this one, a couple tutties, couple touchdowns, no interceptions, no turnovers for Michigan on the day. J.J. McCarthy, I believe, did fumble one time. They recovered it. True freshman gets in the game middle of the third quarter and looked pretty okay early on, but he got a great play there, which was just a phenomenal, I think, all-around play. He rolled out to his right, and he just chucked the ball about 38 yards across the field with two guys in his face right on the sideline, all the way across the other hash mark, right in stride, and it went for a touchdown to Dalen Baldwin. 69-yard touchdown, McCarthy to Dalen Baldwin. McCarthy ends up with 80 yards on the game. Baldwin didn't get as involved as I thought he would. With all the hype we saw in the preseason, that was pretty much all he did. I want to glance at his stats really quick. Baldwin, we had one catch for 69 yards, but not a ton of stars from a receiving perspective. But grade Cade McNamara's performance. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. A, B, C, D, or F, and we will go. I got Preston Yoder outside the door. He's asking if he can come in. I'm just saying, come in. It's bring your kid to work day here at Chat Sports. Nevertheless, A, B, C, D, or F. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Michigan Football Report, the #1 and frankly the fastest YouTube channel out there, because we got a video with graphics and everything moments after the game is over. YouTube.com/Michigan TV. How about those running backs? Quite the day for the running backs. Zach Charbonnet's off to UCLA. Chris Evans is off to the NFL. But and the running backs look better than they did at any time last year. And so we'll kind of take a look at the stats here. Haskins seemed like he was the starter, but Blake Corum was the guy they went to more in the later in the game. He had 13 carries for Haskins, 70, and a rushing touchdown. Blake Corum, 14 rushes, 111 yards. So big time, 111-yard day for him. I think, he had more yards today than he's gotten his entire career. Obviously only played 6 games, opportunity to play 6 games last year. A receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown. It's against Western Michigan, but we may have a star in our hands here with Blake Corum, folks. He looked like as fast as you can believe, and with all the weight and work he's done in the weight room, he looks like a star in the making. Freshman Donovan Edwards, borderline 5-star, 6 carries, 27 yards. He got a lot of work later in the game once the game was out of hand. But I love this running back performance. I'm sure you do too. Let's light up the comments, because we are going to get trolled by the Ohio State bums that watch this show. Go type Go Blue. I want to make sure the Michigan fans are repping. And this video is being shown to more Michigan fans so we don't get overrun in the comments by those disastrous Buckeye fans. All right, my number 3, topic of the day. The offense looked confident, but the wide receivers seemed to exude confidence, and that really was from Ronnie Bell all the way down. Early on, you had a really great catch by Cornelius Johnson on the side of the on the side of the sideline with our defender draped all over him when Cade McNamara smartly, guy jumped offside, McNamara got the snap and whipped it out there to him, 12, 13 yards. He caught it with his hands, the guy dangling over him. That was good. Blake Corum, a couple catches, obviously not a wide receiver. Eric All from the tight ends, 3 catches, 23 yards. Saw that one from Dalen Baldwin. A.J. Henning, both in the running game and caught a pass for 11 yards. Donovan Edwards as well. So those are your receivers. But I felt for the wide receivers looked like they knew what they were doing. At times last year under Josh Gass, they looked like they had no idea what they are doing. If you guys know what you're doing, you'll get Magic Spoon. Really the best cereal, the best product out there on the market. It is magicspoon.com/goblue. It is awesome cereal that's high in protein. It's low in carbs. Folks, it tastes delicious. It tastes absolutely delicious, and it is no sugar. That is the greatest part about the cereal. It tastes like the cereals you ate as a little kid, but there is no sugar. $5 off your first order. Go to magicspoon.com/goblue. $5 off your first order. Get hooked up. I love the stuff. I eat it almost every single day, so make sure you go get started with them. Let's take a look at the offensive stats. Producer, throw it up there. 550 yards for Michigan. 216 passing yards, 334 yards rushing. 334 yards rushing for this team. That is great to see. If Michigan can do it on the ground, if they can keep doing it on the ground all year, they're going to have a much better season than many of us expected. I predicted a 7-5 record. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm way wrong. Trust me. 47 points on the day for this Michigan team. So those 216 passing yards. Now, that's inflated a little bit with that 69-yard pass J.J. McCarthy had towards the end in what we call scrub time. But the two stats are really impressive. 550 yards. Michigan has struggled under Jim Harbaugh to put up big yardage numbers. 334 yards rushing. Keep that up. You're going to have a really nice season. Now, we told you this yesterday. Zach ZINTER, I keep saying ZINTER, but ZINTER missed the game, didn't play. Chuck FILIAGA got the start in his replacement. Now, we've been told that it is a broken hand, but he was dressed and was able to play. He's got like a cast on his hand. If needed to play against Washington next week, I expect him to play against Washington either in a starting role or a potential backup role, just filling in from time to time. But Zach ZINTER is injured, broken hand, and he will probably be ready if needed next week against Washington. The defense impressed. They're really impressing after a slow start. They gave up 7 points early on and had another field goal opportunity, I think it was. I'll look at the drive chart coming up here. But talk about Aidan Hutchinson, sack and a forced fumble. He was everywhere all day. They didn't recover it, but nevertheless, he was there. He was all over the ball all day. He was hitting the quarterback left and right. Daxton Hill, told you yesterday, not a starting safety. That was R.J. Moten. He was a starter at cornerback today in I guess it was like a 3-3-5 starting set is what they seem to be relying on all day. N'Keal Hill-Green, 4 tackles in his starting debut. R.J. Moten starting to debut 5 tackles. Aidan and Mazi Smith, who had an okay game, not a great game, both had that tackle for loss. Mazi Smith, in addition to the one I said from Aidan. But most impressive thing about this defense was from 5:58 in the first quarter when Western Michigan scored the touchdown all the way, I'm going to look up the exact time, to 3:30 left in the game. Michigan went that big gap without letting Western Michigan score. And I had another stat that was pretty interesting I want to say here too. Second quarter, defense stepped up big time. Offense put the pedal to the metal, 182 yards, 182 for the offense in the second quarter, only 23 for Western in the second quarter. So the defense really clamped down. What looked like a tighter game, 10-7, 7-7 early on, ended up being a nice, comfortable margin at halftime, and Michigan just cruised in the second half. So Mike Macdonald, first game as Michigan's defensive coordinator. Rate Mike Macdonald's D. How did his D perform today? These producers with these quotes, I think they're trying to be funny, talking about his D. You know what I'm talking about. The defense. Give it to me on a scale of 1 to 10, rate his D. I'm going to give him a 7.3 on the day. Let me know what you guys think, 1 through 10 on Mike McCarthy's D. Toss up the scoreboard there one more time to my producer. 47-14 was the final for Michigan. They dominate. We're going to know more about Ronnie Bell's injury in the coming days. Nice day from Cade McNamara. Really nice day from Blake Corum. He's probably our player of the game. And the defense bent early but didn't break and really rotated a lot of guys in there. So we'll be back with more Michigan football reaction and grades and other things Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're going to have a video every single day this week. Till then, go Blue.